Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Vulkan, and today is the first weekly reset in Tower of Fantasy. So this is going to kick off our first full week in the game. And with that, we have a lot of things that we need to make sure we do in order to maximize our rewards for this week. So in today's video, we're going to talk about all of the different things you need to do each day in order to keep progressing your character and to set yourself up for future success. Then we're going to talk about some other things you can do if you're interested, as well as some things you need to be doing throughout the week. So to get us started, let's talk about all of the stuff you need to do every day to keep up with the story and with the crowd. Now, as per usual, this is for people who want to maximize their time and have a checklist of things to mark off. Please do not think this is the only way to play the game. Do what you think is fun. I mean, if you love exploring and that's all you want to do, then do that. It's a video game. This is supposed to be fun and relaxing, not a complete grind fest. So if you're not into that, please just play the way you want to play. Okay, so these things are going to be in order of priority. So first up, you want to complete the new story quests. These have been very fast, and honestly, they're completed in under an hour, so complete these until you can't go any further. Then, once you're done with the story, you want to shift your focus to bounties. So there's 4 of them per day, and they're very fast to complete. Sometimes it's defeating a named boss, other times it's defeating 2 minions. Either way, there isn't a huge time commitment, and you get some great rewards from it, including a gold nucleus and some upgrade materials. Now, when you complete bounties, you're also going to rank up and earn rewards as well, so make sure to claim those. You can find them at the very top of the bounties screen. Now, once your bounties are done, then you want to take care of your ruins. So these give really good experience and are a good source of gear and relic shards, which will eventually unlock new SR and SSR relics. So I recommend doing these before you jump into something like a joint operation or even visiting the commissary. Reason being is that you might see some gear in there and you're like, oh man, I need blue gloves because I don't have blue gloves. Please don't do this, because typically you're going to get gear from the ruins and they could be that pair of blue gloves. And I would hate for you guys to buy a pair from the commissary and then get one from the ruins, and you basically just wasted all of that currency. Now remember to do the easy ruins first, because those are going to unlock as we level up, but you can also go back and do the older ones that now have the normal difficulty unlocked as well. Next, if you're in a crew, make sure to do your daily donation and pick up any crew missions that might have been missed. So staying on top of this is necessary for leveling up your crew, which then leads to bigger rewards on each weekly reset. Now, if you're somebody who isn't a big crew person, right? You're like, I don't want to join a guild, I don't want to do any of that. Well, find a guild that doesn't have, or crew rather, that doesn't have a lot of requirements. And it's just kind of like a group of individuals that are just benefiting from the weekly rewards and weekly reset. You don't have to join one that's sweaty or hardcore or even super casual. You can find one that's just, hey, everybody's doing missions, they're all donating, and we're all just getting rewarded for it. So look for something like that if you're not a big crew person. So next up is Mia's Kitchen. So this one is incredibly flexible. You can really kind of slot it wherever you want to. You can get her food buff before the story, you can get it during bounties, you can get it before ruins, truly whenever you want to, as long as you get it once each day. So she gives you the buff, but then she also gives some experience and some materials. Now this kitchen can stack up to 3 times, so make sure to keep it from overstacking to avoid losing out. So that's why you want to get it at least once per day. Next, you want to complete your training. So training is going to give you points, which can then be used to purchase gifts and upgrade materials. Now, there is a potential trap to watch out for here. Make sure you select the highest training you can do. So for instance, today Crown Mines opened up, and because of that, I'm now able to do Crown Training. So doing the highest level of training is more difficult, but it gives way more points. So make sure you pick the right one and get it done. For instance, don't go all the way back to Astra and do training there, because you're going to be missing out on tons of points. So after training, you want to make sure to visit the Black Market and Cetus Island for your daily gifts. So for the Black Market, you want to take the portal called Black Market, which is towards the middle of Banjus, and then you want to talk to Hopkins. So he'll have you choose between 2 crates, both which contain gifts. Don't worry about the choice, because guess what? They're completely random. So you really can't go wrong here. Just pick one, get your gift, and then move on. Now for Cetus Island, you want to run to the opposite side from the teleporter. You're going to reach an arcade cabinet in front of Slayer. So this is a claw game. So for those of you who love claw games, for instance, my wife loves these things, so I let her do this every day. It's kind of the thing she looks forward to. But this lets you get 3 gifts per day. And the cool thing is you can get a Smarty doll, which is an epic gift. And this is great for investing in your characters. So like for instance, Tsubasa benefits highly from the Smarty doll. So if you're a Tsubasa main, this is something you definitely don't want to miss. But you want to make sure to invest in different characters, right? This is the important thing, because making progress here is crucial so you can unlock those powerful passives, which are then going to help increase your damage output, your support capabilities, your tanking capabilities. Whatever role you play as, being able to unlock those for your characters is going to help in whatever way possible. Now, after you've gathered all of your gifts, now it's on to our vitality activities. So the first thing we want to do is complete any level 3 Stargates. You can either party up with others, or if you have one, you can do it solo. It's truly up to you. I like to party up with other people. To me, it's just fun. But just know that level 3 Stargates are not guaranteed each day for you. So for instance, all of mine today are level 1. So I didn't have any level 3s that I could go out and do. So I had to post in world chat and say, hey, does anybody have a level 3? I partied up, I knocked them out. So don't be afraid to post in world chat to see if anyone has one that you can join. Now, if you don't have any you can join and no one is recruiting for them, then try to prioritize the Stargates that give materials that you need, because even level 1 Stargates can give you epic upgrade materials. Now from here, you do have a few choices. So one, if you're low on gold, you can do the space-time dimension to farm for that. Now I am going to warn you, these are not exactly exciting. You're just replaying ruins over and over and over. So here's a tip. Try to skip as much of the trash as you possibly can. Typically, you don't have to full clear the ruin or the space-time dimension. You can just kill the mobs near the locked door to open that door, and then get to the boss as fast as you can, beat them. That way you can get out and continue farming them. You don't want to spend tons of time because, believe me, it melts your brain. Now, if you need weapon augment boxes and you're out of Stargates for the day, I would recommend Dimensional Trials. These are very fast runs. There's a couple trash mobs. There's a boss. Once you clear it, you get upgrade materials. So there's just a lot of benefit you can get from these as well, and they're very fast to complete. And then you have Joint Operations. So you can give these a whirl if you want to see if you can land some rare gear or maybe some weapon matrix. But at 90 vitality per run, if you open up all of the boxes, it gets very expensive very quickly, and truly there's just not a ton of value there early on. But again, it is a fun mode to play. It's cool to get in there and play with your friends especially. So if that's something you want to do, you can. Just know you can only do 2 full clears per day, and then you're completely capped and out of vitality unless you go buy a vitality potion. And then lastly, we have the Omnium Beacon. So I do not recommend these. These are basically a gamble right now as to whether or not your beacon will survive the full 24 hours. I just don't see a ton of value in them in comparison to the other stuff that we have available to us. But if you do like hide and seek, then go for it. I mean, because who knows? Maybe you'll get a really good beacon, it survives the whole time, and you get a ton of rewards. But for me, I would rather spend my 30 vitality on something else. So the last few daily activities are some progress as you go ones. So since we have access to vehicle maintenance, you want to make sure to visit Hykros and the Banjus shelter every single day to loot every container you can find for vehicle parts. If it looks like something you can interact with, try it out. This includes things like vending machines, generators, cabinets, shelves, you name it. If it looks like it can hold an item, go check it out. Because maintaining your vehicle is super important, and it's a great way to earn more Dark Crystal. So Hykros you can get to from any Omnium Tower. You go to the Omnium Tower, it says teleport to Hykros. Now the Banjus shelter is not the Banjus port. It's actually the teleporter at the very southern tip of Banjus. So you go there, it's where you met Bai Ling. That is the shelter. There's a couple things you can interact with in order to loot them to get vehicle maintenance parts. And then lastly, remember to revisit old zones to progress their completion. This includes opening supply pods that might have been time gated up until now. So for instance, you can go back and you can 100% Astra, and you can almost 100% Banjus. Okay, so those are all of the daily items that you want to make sure to do. It seems like a very big list, but truly it doesn't take as long as you think, only a few hours. So if you have a couple hours to spare, then you can get through all of it. But if you don't have a ton of time each day, let's say you're a busy parent, you're a college student, and you really only have an hour to play, I would say get through the story, get through a ruin or two, and then go through and kind of work through your vitality activities. That way you can get some meaningful progression towards your character. Everything else is kind of gravy, and if you have the extra time, it will help, but it's not necessarily like 100% required. So let's move on to the stuff you want to focus on throughout the week. So one, you have your literal weekly guide that you can follow. This gives you little tasks to complete. That way you can progress your bar at the top. You can unlock rewards. It's very simple. It's straightforward. Highly recommend doing this because you get some really good stuff out of that bar. So make sure you do take care of some of those things out there. Now, beyond that, we do have a couple activities we need to make sure we do for some big rewards. So first up is the Bygone Phantasm, which I'm going to call BP from here on out. So this is a tower climb mode that puts you in a pool of players, and whoever progresses the highest with the best record time by the end of the week wins. So for instance, this past week, I made it to floor 38, and I just couldn't progress. I did not have enough juice. I didn't have enough damage to beat out that floor. I was in second place to someone who reached floor 42. So for second place, I received a ton of booster modules, like 28 booster modules. I received 3 advancement modules and a lot of crystal dust. It was truly a fantastic haul. It allowed me to upgrade a ton of my gear. So please make sure you do this. They reward the top 100 people. So even if you aren't in the top 50 or 75, you'll still get something out of it. And also, your progress is rounded down to the nearest 10. So for me, I started level 30 this week. So the other guy starts at 40. But the nice thing is you don't have to run everything all over again. You can just pick up where you left off and then continue progressing. So make sure to hop on each day and just try 1 or 2 floors. That way you can continue pushing through, and hopefully we'll get some rewards by the end of the week. Now I'm also going to put void rifts out here, even though they're up every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. These are these difficult team-based activities. They send players into a map where they need to kill elites to collect keys. And once you collect all the keys, you can defeat a boss. And once you defeat the boss, you're going to be able to open a chest and then have a chance at SR and SSR matrices and proof of purchase along with some other upgrade materials. So I ran mine today. It was a really fun time. You can stack these up as well if you want to. So let's say you weren't able to play Monday and Wednesday. Then you can go play all of them on Friday. You can do all 3 on Friday. But the key thing is here, just remember to do them. They don't cost vitality and you get really good stuff from them. Now, just like Void Rifts, you can also do something called Frontier Clash. Now, this functions similarly, but instead of matrices, you get gear as a reward. Now, these are open every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, according to online resources. Because at the time of this video, this is not quite open yet, and we have to be level 39 in order to access it. However, Frontier Clash, you can see it. It's in the southern tip of Bangis, right next to the Bangis shelter. Now, lastly, if you enjoy PvP, make sure to get some matches in because you can continue grinding up the ladder. Now, at the end of the season, you can get some really cool rewards, things like cosmetics, consumables, currency, just a bunch of special one-time stuff. So if you're someone who really likes to collect or likes to be a have versus the have-nots, then you can go out and do some PvP. I went out, I did a few matches, and I was surprised at how easy it was. I think as I get deeper into it, I'll probably start running into some of the sweatier players, but for now, it was very simple. So folks, that is it. That is everything that you need to focus on each day and throughout the week. I hope this helped optimize your playtime or brought some new activities to light that you have not tried quite yet. If you like Tower Fantasy content, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out immensely. And as always, this has been Vulkan, and I will talk to all of you next time.